For a long time, I felt like I was different when it comes to my baby daddy. And he made me feel like that because he would always say, Michelle, I don't disrespect you. I don't treat you how I treated other women. I never put my hands on you. I don't call you out your name. I don't scream at you. I don't yell at you. And he don't. Never call me out my name. Never raise his voice at me. Never hit me. And I know, so it's been 10 years. Um, Now, the first 6 of those years, I was doing what I want to do because when I met my baby daddy, he had a girlfriend. That's my baby. She's sick. Oh, poor baby. When I met my baby daddy, he had a girlfriend. He told me when we first started talking. I decided to continue to talk to him. Never wanted to be with him. Never thought that I would have kids with him. Never thought it would be 10 years. Never wanted to him to have his relationship with the girl he was with, and never wanted her to know. I don't want that. I just wanted to have fun with him. But it did, and for the first 6 years while he was still with her, I was doing what I wanted to do, talking to other dudes. Um, I didn't consider him my boyfriend because you're not. You're somebody else's boyfriend. I did get pregnant 3 times while they were together. But anyways, that lady, he beat her. Now, mind you, when I met my baby daddy, I was only 20. Now I'm 30. Um, yeah, so we met. He had his girlfriend. I would talk to different dudes. Um, about a year and a half after we started messing around, I was working at Walmart. He called me at Walmart. He like, what time you get off? And I'm like, 9. He was like, okay, I'm pick you up. And I'm like, okay. So, so he picked me up, and mind you, he called me like at 4. He called me like at 4, and then he picked me up at 9. We were together for a couple of hours that night before he told me he was leaving. He had told me, because at first I was complaining like, dog, you first met me, you was over here every day, we were talking all the time. Now we barely talking, you barely coming. What's wrong? Like, we don't got to do this. We don't have to do this. So he told me, oh, the reason why that was happening was because she kind of found out about me, and every time he would leave the house, she would try to. What?
You said I got my phone, but don't cause daddy got it.
Okay, so why are you crying?
Cause I'm playing Roblox on my phone, and you told me I got my phone, and I had to play.
She don't have her phone, Drew. Okay, but Leah, close the door. And then he told me she found out every time he would leave the house, she would try to leave with him. And they started like arguing a lot. And that day when he tried to leave, now mind you, she never suspected anything at first because I can only go by what he used to tell me. Because I don't know her. Now we are, I mean, we will speak, like we will text for our children. I never asked her anything about him. She never asked me anything about him, like about our relationship. I never talked to them about their relationship they used to have. It was just about our kid. Some rarely. But I have no problem picking up the phone and calling her like, okay, what the kids doing? I'm gonna come get them, this and this, and I have no problem speaking to her because remind you, I don't have a problem with her. She probably, and she have every right to feel some type of way about me because of what happened, but I don't think she do. But anyways, that day he was like, oh, he was trying to leave, and she was like, oh no, you're not going. So she was like, oh, I'm going with you. So supposedly she got in the car with him. He drove off, but then he came back. Like he went around the corner and was like, he ain't going nowhere. So supposedly he said he started smoking a black, and she hit a black out of his mouth, and he hit her back. He punched her. So he told me she called the police, and he was like, he got to go to Georgia. He got family in Georgia. He got to go to Georgia. Okay. He went to Georgia. While he was in Georgia, he was like, oh, he done with her. He wanted to be with me. Now, before all that, he made it seem like everything was my fault. Oh, when before I met you, um, yeah. So he tried to make it seem like everything was my fault, saying like, oh, before I met you, every night I came home, I had food ready for me. I can always walk out the house whenever I wanted to, and I'm like, this when he was in Georgia, and I'm like, okay, go back to it. Like I never asked you to leave her. You talk to me because you want to talk to me. I never made you talk to me. So if that's what you want, go back. Go back to it. Like, I'm not making you do nothing you don't want to do. It's too late. She's not going to take me back because she found out about you. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Okay. So I think it was like a couple days passed by. We didn't talk. And then he called me and he was like, oh, so I'm just going to make it work with you. And then in my head, I'm like, when did I ever say I wanted to be with you? Never said I wanted to be with you. Never said that. Because I knew what you did to her, you gonna do to me. I never felt like, oh, he ain't gonna cheat on me. I never felt like that. In my head, when he was in Georgia and he was talking to me like that, never felt like I wanted to be with him. Whole time, I didn't know at this time. I didn't know till years later. Whole time, he talking to me, telling me, he was even telling me, no, he wasn't. Okay. Oh, when I come back down there, me and you gonna be together, this and that and that. He telling her to go up there with him. Whole time. But I ain't found out till years later. So, okay, he came back. So I felt like this was like in February he went up there. I'm not 100% sure. January, February. I felt like it was like that time. Okay, he came back. And I remember, like, when we first started talking, we went to his sister's house one time. And she told, so we went to the sister's house and we left the sister's house. And she called him. And supposedly she told him, hey, don't put me in the middle of your situation. You know, the girl who you with, me and her friends, we talk. So I don't want you to bring that girl to my house no more. This and this and that. Again, I can only tell y'all what he told me. So, when he come back from Georgia, he moved with his sister. I went over there, and then I guess I stayed the night. And when we left, he was like, oh, you should know that I'm done with her. Because remember the first time we came here, my sister was like, you couldn't come here no more because I was with the other girl and she friends with her. Now she don't care because I'm not with her. Okay, Daryl. So, okay, our birthday in April. His birthday, the 20th, my birthday, the 24th. All right, so I get pregnant around that time. And then my sister's birthday, I have an older sister. She passed away like 6 years ago now. Her birthday, May 22nd. Right? So May 22nd, nobody knew I was pregnant. I think I believe I told him, but nobody else knew. So it was a weekend. It was like a Saturday. My sister was having a party. So I went to my other sister's house. I have like, my mom has 7 girls, 3 boys, 10 kids. So I went to my other sister's house and I was parked like in a row. So I'm sitting in my car waiting for my sister to come out. And already my family members telling me, my mom told me, oh, So yeah, my mom had done told me, "Oh, I see him in a gray PT Cruiser." And then my other sister was like, "No, he not driving in a gray PT Cruiser. He driving in a gray AHR. His baby mama got a gray AHR." So I'm like, "Oh, okay. You driving in your baby mama car?" Now, me and him barely, like, after I found out I was pregnant, me and him barely spoke. So it just so happened when I was waiting outside for my sister, I see a gray AHR pass. I follow that bitch. And he go on like a next street, and I pull. By the time I pulled up, he was already out of the car. And I'm like, "Why the fuck you driving your baby mama car?" "Oh, I'm not in that car." "Yes, you is, cause I just seen you get out that car." And he was like, "Oh, man, you need to go on no." Now, my baby daddy used to being out and have nobody pop up on him, question him. Not me. What the fuck you doing in her car? At first, I mean, again, when I first met you, you had a girlfriend. I knew that I was doing what I want to do. You were doing what you want to do. But now, like, you said me in a relationship, I'm finna see what the fuck going on. Why you in her dog? And why you in her car? "Oh, I'm not in her car, this and this and that." Okay, it's my sister's birthday. I went to go pick up my other sister. I went to her house. That's when I told everybody I was pregnant. Okay. Whole time I'm pregnant with my son, I rarely speak to this man. Rarely. He knew my due date was like January 20th something. Um, Again, the whole time I was pregnant, I barely seen him. Um, and then I realized, okay, he with your baby mama. Left him alone, pregnant on my own, working, doing everything I had to do. I remind you, I already had another child. When I met him, I had another son, my only son. Um, and my baby was born on January 19th. I'm calling him and calling him like on the way to the hospital, like that day, because when I woke up that morning, I knew I was going to have a baby that day. So yeah, so when I woke up that day, I knew I was having a baby that day. So I started calling him that day. Never answered the phone. Never answered the phone. Had my baby January 19th. When I had my baby, I went home and I went to my sister's house. My sister's house is right next door to his best friend's house, who he be around every fucking day. But since he came back from Georgia and he was with the girl, he wasn't around her no more. I guess because me. Whatever. So, um, I had my baby. A week later, my sister's husband, who I was living with, he go to the corner store. Nah, my baby daddy, he don't be on that street, but he be in that area all day, every day. So he go to the corner store and he tell my baby daddy, "Oh, you know my sister had that baby. You need to go check on your child." So I don't remember if it was that same day or the next day he came. And when I see his face, it's like I started crying because, mind you, that's my second child. My first child, me and my baby daddy was together. When I found out I was pregnant, I found out he was cheating. We stopped talking, but my baby daddy was still there for me. My first baby daddy, he was still there for me. I go to the doctors. He would go to the doctor with me. He was with me at my last doctor. Then I went straight to the hospital. I had a baby. He was there the whole time. Cut the umbilical cord, signed a birth certificate, everything. And me and him not together. So to have a child by a man and you wasn't there the whole time I was pregnant, you wasn't there at my pregnancy. Like, I'm blowing your phone up, you don't answer. I'm like, damn, I have a baby by a person like, by a man like this. And I started crying. So he come, and so he come, he holding the baby, he looking at my baby, he was like, "This baby look just like me." And he do. Now we have 4 kids and they look like him. My daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, uh, she look like his daughters, but she really don't look like him to me. How? I don't know, but that's what it is. Um, And then, not that much longer after I had my baby, we moved like to a different city, like 20 minutes away. He didn't know where I lived because he told me when he came to see me, oh, supposedly he was with a friend and his friend girlfriend went crazy like, oh, where you was at? Supposedly she threw everybody because they was in the car. She got in the car, she grabbed, supposedly they was, I don't know, his phone got thrown in the lake by somebody else's girlfriend. How the fuck, I don't know. But